I'm Enyol, and these are my top figures of 2023. I know I'm a little bit late to it, but I was getting everything ready because I wanted to make things look much better than they used to. So the big question is, how do you make a list of your top figures when you got around 80 figures in a year? And last year I got around 70, and I wanted to do better, but things happen. So yeah. Through a lot of deliberation, I made a top 10 worst and a top 10 best videos, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. If you don't like the list, tough shit, it's my list. Make your own. I love to see people's list for top and worst figures. These two, this was a gift that my wife made for me. It's my mascot in plushie mode, and this is a figure I got in Christmas that I bought for myself as a gift, even though every single figure I have I buy for myself. I'm trying not to spend anymore this year, but I'm already it's past mid-February at the moment of recording, and I'm already over 3K deep. Yeah, we'll see how this year goes. I ordered about 15 figures in January alone. Not as many as in February, which I'm kind of thankful for. Anyways, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to first show a worst figure and then a best figure. And I'm going to alternate until we get to the bottom and the top one. Alright, so let's do this. So the number 10 worst figure is Fans Hobbies Fright Storm. Sadly, as much as I like this guy because he is a looker and he looks great, just weak, very, very weak ball joints in the ankles. These things keep popping in. They don't want to stay out. The ankles, again, just way too weak. He tends to fall. This doesn't lock in. And, what are we doing? Then, this fucking backpack, dude. This takes way too much real estate. And it sucks because otherwise this would have been one of my favorite figures of the year. But just especially the weak ankles. Because the waist swivel, I love how the waist swivel is done on this guy. But yeah, I know I can tighten that, but I shouldn't have to tighten the ankles on my figure with, floor polish and things like that. But doesn't change the fact that, look at that. That's so fucking awesome. But because this doesn't lock in, these are weak, and this is just fucking stupid. But I still like how he looks, and I still like the transformation. That's why this guy is 10th in the worst figures of the year. Number 10 of my best figures of the year, Rioter Despotron by Make Toys. Man, I wish the cross-dimensional line would just come back because this dude is amazing. Their Optimus Prime is amazing. Their Jetfire? I think it was amazing. I know a lot of people don't like it, but whatever, I like it. This dude was just so much fun to handle, to pose, to just play around with. You can put the cannons on the arms. And you can he has the fucking sword stored in there. There's just so much to like about this guy. There's just so much to like and adore about this guy, and that's why he's my number 10 in the last year's top figures. Now, here's the thing. Something I forgot to mention, and I mentioned in the last top video. I don't only rank figures that came out last year. I rank figures that I got. And this was by far one of the best figures I got last year. I'm very happy that it's still in my collection. So maybe some of y'all were expecting to see this guy lower in the list because of the review that I gave it. Because this thing, it's honestly not that good. But I can't deny I love just staring at it. I love the arm cannon, even though it's a little bit floppy, but right now it's not moving, so I'm not touching it too much because look, it's in there. If you remember from my review, it was just like falling and like spinning around. I haven't done anything to it. It's just there. I love how this guy looks. I can't like and you know like as much as I hate the transformation, I have transformed other things that have been so much fucking worse than this thing that I have a newfound appreciation because this thing's, as I explained in my review, the transformation, it's annoying. It's not terrible. It's honestly not really that bad. It's just really fucking annoying. I have had really bad transformations this year, and I am dreading the review because I will review it. Fucking Sky Atlas. But yeah, like this guy is number 9 in the worst ones because he's just really good to look at. I mean, look at him. He's missing a thumb. But still, look at him. He looks glorious. From one big bot to another big bot, number 9 on the best figures is TFC Toys Dark Savior. The more I look at it, the more I fall in love with this thing. Yeah, the transformation, I wasn't the biggest fan of it because it was a little bit fiddly. But this guy is just a joy to pose, a joy to just look at, and it feels so fucking good. I love the core bot, I love it. And I love the combine mode because it just comes out looking so handsome and so like vicious with these giant Gatling guns and the wings that you can like pose and move. Like there's a lot to love here. And that's why this guy is my number 9 on my top figures of 2023. My number 8 worst figure of the year is Toys Mage, the knockoff of the MP Beast Wars Megatron. This is a figure that I wanted. This was the first figure I always wanted from like the MP line. And sure, it's not the official one. It's the knockoff because the official one goes for over $300, and this thing is not worth $300. But yeah, like this, it's just no. Man, this one was disappointing. But again, it's a knockoff, so you know you can expect some things to be janked, some things to be bad, but not as bad as this. I wasn't expecting it. Then the transformation, it's annoying as shit because things just do not want to tab in because it's just a bunch of small panels they have to lock in, and I don't like I have realized I'd rather have a parts former than a panel former. Panel formers are the bane of my existence. I got too many last year and I just don't want any more. I like how he looks. Sadly, I don't like how he oh look, now it's up. And you no, not anymore. No, not anymore. Then like the mouth. Yeah, that's just I have to like finagle a lot of it, and then the mouth doesn't want to stay. Look at this. Looks big and imposing. And you move you can move the tongue. It looks big and imposing, but you can't close the. There you go. Yeah, like not the best thing ever. Not by a long shot. It's a shame. Yeah. Number 8. And my number 8 best figure of the year, Takara Tomy Ultimate Optimus Primal, because this thing is just a really good all-around toy. It has decent gimmicks, the posability, it's very good for, a mainline figure, basically. The transformation is not bad at all, and I cannot wait for the upgrade kit to turn this guy from Optimus Primal into Apeling. That's gonna be fucking amazing. Because the head sculpt, it's not the best, and I'm totally going for the new alternate head that they gave him. But yeah, like, this thing just feels good. Number 7 is probably the biggest disappointment of the year. The bottom 7 figure is Metagate Red Fantasy. I had way too high hopes for this one, I'll admit, because everybody was just hyping it up because it looked so good. And yeah, it looks amazing. She is a looker. But her ankles are weak. The transformation is not the best. Tolerances and things pegging in are really bad. Some things just hold by friction when they should honestly be pegging in. And this thing is bendy rubber, and no, I don't like that in my almost $200 figures. Yeah, she won the vote for the next review I'm gonna do, so keep a lookout for that one. Not really looking forward to all the transformations I have to do. But she looks great, and she's very well poseable, which is, awesome. Actual ratcheted ab crunch. But yeah, like her ankles are not the best. Yeah, she has a tendency to fall backwards, which is a big shame, especially in the year we live in. But I can't deny the end result. The end result, she looks amazing. So stick around for the review. That's gonna be the next video after this one, hopefully. My number 7 top figure is Spark Toys Spartacus. I love transforming this guy. I love posing this guy. I love all the weapons he has, and I love the fucking shoulder cannon. It's so fucking good. I'm very happy that I got this guy. It's one of the many grails I found in 2023, and I am so happy I finally was able to put this guy in my collection because he looks great, he handles great. Yeah, a couple of bits are fiddly, but it's a thing of the time when it came out because it's an older figure. And yeah, I'm making excuses for it because older figures don't have the je ne sais quoi of the newer figures. Like the sign philosophy wasn't there yet, and sometimes it's still not. But like for older figures, I can excuse it. I just love all the weapons, all the weapon storage, because you guys know I'm a stickler for that. That it's just great. It feels good. He looks amazing. What are you doing flopping? Oh, there you go. I have to tab it in further in. Yeah, that's why he is my number 7 of the best figures I got last year. Spartacus. Number 6 worst figure of the year is definitely Fans Hobby Black God Armor. Look, I like how he looks. As far as a parts former, he is not terrible, but then this arm's always popping out, just falling off. I try to tab it in and then just falls. The transformation, a lot of the parts forming wasn't bad, but then tabbing this piece into this piece, the back to the chest, it was way too annoying. And then you grab it and you try to handle it, and then he bends backwards. Yeah, that's just no. Probably one of Fans Hobby's worst offerings, if not the worst thing they have ever done, at least that I have in my collection. Thankfully, he stands, even though he likes to bend backwards. But thankfully, he stands, mostly due to the rubber on the sole of his feet. I believe he has. Do you have rubber down there? Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I just checked. He does. That's why he stands and doesn't fall. But then, oh my goodness. Oh, now everything is falling apart. Yeah, this thing is not the best. Not the best at all. I like how he looks, but just he could I have him in a really high place. If he falls, it's just gonna shatter into a million pieces. But So from one of the biggest bots in my collections to one of the smallest MP bots in my collection, Fans Toys Tubes, or Pipes, it's the actual character name. It's my pick for my number 6 top figure of the year. I got this guy on a whim. And I was so happy that I did. Because he's just a pleasure to handle. It's the best way I can say it. This guy is just feels good. His transformation is great for, Fans Toys standard. This is a bit loose, and that's a shame. But doesn't affect transformation that much. I mean, posability that much. Like I like to pose him. I like how he looks. The transformation is really fun. The alt mode looks cute as shit, and it's really fun to roll. And that's why Fans Toys Tubes is my pick for my number 6 top figure of the year. My number 5 worst figure of the year is Perfect Effect Aranea. And she's not lower in the list because she's just really old. She's a product of her time. She feels cheap. She feels way too cheap. She's very, very freaking small. Way smaller than I thought she was gonna be. Like these parts that are rubber just really irk me the wrong way. Just she does not feel good at all. She looks okay. Haven't transformed her yet. I don't think I will, honestly. I don't think it's it's worth it at all. Just no. Just just no. Number 5, but only because she's really old. If not, she would have been way lower. My number 5 top figure of the year is Fans Hobby Lernian. Lernian? I keep forgetting. But the only reason this guy is not in my top 3, because this honestly was one of the figures that I loved the most last year, is the limited ankle tilt. The severely limited ankle tilt. And yeah, sure, you have the toe tilt, but I don't care about toe tilt. I would rather have a proper ankle tilt. And it should have had it, honestly. This and the issue with the chest just collapsing way too easily and not really having a locking point, it's a bit annoying. Unlike his brother, this guy's backpack is not that bad. I don't really mind this. It looks purposeful to me at least. But I just wish the ankles would have tilted better, had better articulation down there. That said, I love the transformation. I love how it looks, and that's why it's number 5. Yup, and only in my channel you're gonna find a figure that is obviously broken, not at the number 1 spot of worst figures of the year. Cause honestly, this is an oversized knockoff, so breakages are bound to happen. I'm still waiting on the replacement piece from Shosi store. It was about to arrive, then it was sent back to sender. It was a whole thing, and then Chinese New Year happened, so I have to wait even longer for it. But this thing was so inexpensive that I really couldn't care less, to be quite honest. That said, I actually did like this thing when it wasn't broken. I like the transformation. It's just here because it broke. Hopefully, I get a replacement piece and it doesn't break again. Yeah, this is my number 4 choice. TNT Toys, Darkness Sickness, OSKO. It was okay. It just broke. And if I don't get a replacement piece, that's fine too. I don't really care. This thing was like $20, so whatever. I would rather have it full, complete, because I do like it. It's just a shame of what happened. From one Jetfire to another, X2 Toys Sky Crusher. I love this thing, man. Like, I got this thing randomly. I saw, oh, look, that Jetfire. It's stylized. It looks cool. Let me just get it. And you know what? It ended up being one of my favorite toys of the year. I love transforming this thing. I love playing with this thing. I love that the weapons are modular. Just grabbing it. It's so robust. It's, for the size, it weighs a lot. This is an older figure, and honestly, I think this figure was way ahead of its time for when it came out. Actually has butterfly joints. That's awesome. Yeah, the ankle articulation is very limited, but again, it's a product of its time, and yeah, I am excusing it. I don't care. I love this thing, especially with the alternate head that I got for it. Yeah, I'm just honestly and simply in love with this dude. He's not higher because he's not number 1 because the other ones that I got are just newer and just objectively better because they have better articulation and better design choices. But this thing, yeah, my number 4 spot for my top figure, Sky Crusher. Just adore this guy. Number 3 in my bottom slot is Sentinel Toys Jig or Jigfried. This is a shame because I was actually looking forward to this dude because I love transforming super robots. Now the funny thing is, this guy was number 3 because his leg was loose, and apparently he didn't like that, and he fixed his leg by himself. So that's interesting, right? Right? Like the toy fixed itself. That doesn't change the fact that for the price, this dude feels cheap. Like the materials feel cheap, and this thing was coming off by itself. It was not tabbing in. It's tabbing in now. Dude, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, this thing was worse when I got it, but now he's actually behaving. But he was number 3 in the fucking list that I wrote. And I actually handled it when I was writing the script. And his leg was loose. This was falling off, and this leg was just like completely loose. But that's not even that's not even that's not even a thing anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, I wish more toys were like this, that they just fix themselves. I'm not gonna change my fucking script. Just stay at number 3. Fuck you for making me look bad in front of the people. I'm actually happy that it's fixed. I was just picking it up and I was gonna fool with it, and I'm like, what the hell? It's not coming up? What the fuck happened here? So yeah, my number 3 worst figures is Jigfried. I'll be honest, I like it. I like the transformation. I just think it's way too expensive for the size and for what it does. The sword doesn't really like want to go in to the hand, or it wasn't like the sword went in, but it wasn't a snug fit, so it just fell off. It was just dancing there. Yeah, like that's egg on my face. But I don't give a fuck. You stay number 3. Fuck you. Doesn't even want to fall anymore. It's just making me look bad. Yeah. My number 3 top figure of the year is Post Toys Brager. I like Briger more. This thing is fucking amazing. I love this thing. The transformations are not bad. The alt modes look great. It feels good. It poses great. It's just a shame that a tab here broke. Came broken from the box, sadly. I've been asking around for a replacement piece for that, but like Shosi hasn't contacted me for that, so I guess they just don't have it. Regardless of, this guy would have been number 1 if he had actually had weapon storage in his alt modes. That's the only reason, because he has some really amazing shoulder cannons, but you can only use them in bot mode. If you could have used them in car mode and jet mode, this guy would have easily been number 1, because he is just that amazing. And he's been going for sale recently. If you can find him for sale, if you like triple changers, definitely go for this guy. He is almost perfect. A couple of things don't want to stay tapped in, but not in bot mode or in like an actual, like, it's just the peripherals you can put on him to make him look cleaner. They don't always want to stay tapped in, but I don't really care for that. Like, I don't care if the alt modes don't look screen accurate, because I've never seen this fucking anime. The intro was fucking cool. His name is Galaxy Cyclone Brazier, and that is pretty fucking awesome, I think. But yeah, like, this guy was really close to be number 1, just straight out. But my number 1 spot, my number 2 and my number 1 spot, they were just like damn near perfect for me. But Brazier, yeah, I adore this toy. Number 2, of course, is the knockoff of Post Plus Toys Gao Gaigar. Yeah, I don't have them completely like combined because I couldn't care less. I bought it for this thing. It was barely $45, and for $45, it still feels good. It's just the ankles are weak, things were breaking, the hands weren't stay tapped in because they're rubber, and that's disgusting. The little knife that I had for him, it disappeared. I found the hand that I thought I lost, or that I thought what didn't came with. but I found it. These things fall off if you look at it funny, but I can't deny that I like how it looks. That's why it's not number one. This thing just pissed me off while I was handling it because it was cheap and it felt cheap. At least it looks nice. My number 2 favorite figure of the year is definitely Fans Toys Chump, or as we call him in my house, Watermelon Gator. This thing, to me, it's the perfect Fans Toys toy. The transformation is decent, it has fun gimmicks, it has weapon storage, in alt mode for all its weapons, it's everything I ever wanted. He looks amazing, the colors are great, he poses great, like, there's very few things I can say about this guy that make him look bad. Just mostly this. Just yeah. Like the hand, like it's like that's fine, but then whoop, yeah, just that's shameful. But doesn't change the fact that he looks great. I wish the handle was longer for the sword. But he looks great. I love him. We love him in my house, so much so that my wife actually crocheted a little skull cruncher and gave it to me. We're actually selling these. If you're interested, send me a direct message. You can contact me always on Discord if you want, or like leave me a comment. But yeah, we're actually selling these little skull crunchers, and they look adorable. Yep. My wife just saw it and she's like, I want to make it. And then she came and tossed it here. And she was like, oh, I want to make that. And then like 2-3 hours later, she just tossed it at me. Here, have this. And I'm like, okay, that's adorable. I love it. I love her. Yeah, that's my number 2 choice. He was so close to being number 1. Just, the hand not holding it sideways, so you can't do like a lot of dynamic poses. It held it back, but mostly it's because my number 1 is almost like a perfect toy for me. But as far as Fans Toys go, this guy is definitely my favorite Fans Toys, bar none. But it's my number 2 toy of 2023. And before we get to the bottom 1 and top 1 figures of the year, let me first go to these honorable mentions. The figure that just missed the bottom spot, Planet X Nemeos. This thing, I like how it looks. It actually made me bleed because of a lot of the pointy bits. The transformation isn't horrible, but it feels cheap because it's very lightweight. I know it's due to the gimmick to combine, but just when you like go to grab it and then it just like slides off, not something I enjoy seeing. Also, his ankles are a bit on the weak side. I wish this figure didn't combine, honestly. I wish it just didn't combine, because that way it would have been way better than it is. You stay. God damn you. And then the other one, this honorable mention, Fans Hobby Boss Man. Never let a badger tell you what to get, honestly. Nothing against him. If you know, you know. This thing isn't horrible. There's nothing really wrong with it. I don't know, I just didn't like it. I got it, it was an exclusive, and I ended up really not liking it. I might find some new appreciation for it because I'm recently getting into MP Carbots, and all the ones that I've gotten, I've liked. So maybe I'll come back to this guy and I'll end up liking it. But right now he's in the dishonorable mentions. But only because personally I didn't like it. Because honestly, there's nothing wrong with this figure. Like, basically at all. I mean, it's Fans Hobby. And like I said, making a list from 80 figures that I got is really hard. So here are the honorable mentions. It's 6 of them because, again, I got way too many figures last year, man. So, Lupus, almost as good as the Watermelon Crocodile, but just missed it by a bit because the transformation isn't as good and things don't really tab in. This guy, I forgot his name, Mercenary. Mercenary missed it because he actually I broke a leg as I was transforming it. Not because I forced it, it's just like as I was turning it, it just whoop, just came off. Thankfully, Fans Hobby already sent me a replacement. So yeah, but I made the script way before that, and I didn't feel like removing anybody from the list or moving anything. But like the Insecticons, really good, all of them. Dracula, I wanted to love this guy because he looks amazing, but I had to do a lot of finagling to make the neck joint turn, and even then, it's still a little bit tight, and it's a little bit scary to pose it because I'm scared of breaking the head of the headmaster. And I think that was just like really badly designed by Fans Hobby. MMC Severed Grin, I loved it. If you saw my review, you could hear in my voice how much I enjoyed just messing around with it and just posing it and just having it in hand. He has that pose because he's pointing at MMC's Batman because, like, you know, he's the Joker. That said, he missed the top spot because he has a lot of amazing accessories and weapons, but you can't store any of them in alt mode, and that to me is a big no-no. MMC Predator Nimbus missed the mark because he suffers from a lot of the same issues that Saurus suffered. His hip ratchets are way too wide when you're gonna post him, so he has to be in a really wide A stance, and I don't like that a lot. Then his wings are a little bit loose, so even if you tighten them with a screw, they get loose over time. And last but certainly not least, Haslab, that's Saurus. Yeah, he missed the top spot because as awesome as he is, and honestly, he is awesome, he feels great, it's just everything else on the list was just better, man. I don't know what to tell you. This guy is great, yeah, but 250? I don't know, like, even with his issues, I still think, like, this dude is better than that dude, and this dude is like $100 less. So, you know, make of that what you will. Again, it's my list. This is how I like to, you know, categorize things. If you don't like it, leave a comment. Tell me I suck. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Make your own list, and like I told you, make your own list and let me know so I can watch it because I love looking at people's lists. And yeah, these are the top, not top. These are the honorable mentions, and let's go now to the bottom of the barrel and then go to the top of the barrel. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, just... I guess. My number one choice for worst figure of 2023 is definitely Transall Metal Spider Queen. She won't stand, she has weak ankles, she has weak knees, she has weak hips. That's my worst and most disappointing figure of 2023 because I was actually looking forward to her because I adore this design. But first of all, a lot of people had issues with breakages in the spider legs because they didn't like tolerance them properly, and then like she is way too heavy if you want to like have the backpack on her, which honestly I do because I don't want to parts form and put shit away. But you know, it makes her back heavy. If you remove it, it's not as bad if you remove it. But even then, she's not always gonna, because again, her ankles are weak and doesn't take much. Oh, there she is. She's standing. But again, like I wanna give her backpack. That's like, I'm just posing her a little bit, and she wants to do the splits. And then like this thing just keeps coming off. I find it in the floor all the time. So she's usually just laying on her back in my collection because she can't stand worth for shit. that was such a. It was frustrating because Transart is one of my favorite companies because they make masterpiece level and scale Beast Wars figures, specifically from characters we're probably never gonna get from Hashtag. From Takara Tomy to be specific. And it was shameful. This was like their worst release by far of last year. Let's see if I can like tap this in properly. And there she is. She's topless again. This thing doesn't even wanna like tap in properly, and there she is again. And she is not gonna cooperate, so gotta bend her forward a little bit. Gotta almost make her ask Annie if he's okay, if she's okay or not. Annie. Yeah, this was it was shameful because I liked the design of the character. Honestly, they should have just stuck with their basics. Take the old toy and just make it better. This is way worse than the original toy. I don't mind the backpack. I don't mind like the large shoulder pads. Just again, make it work. Make it functional. This was not functional. I believe that the white release, the one that's like RC colors. Jesus fucking Christ, woman. Remind me of my wife. Anyway, that's not a bad thing though. But the white version, I believe it had the leg issues fixed, but yeah. Oh man, it's just so disappointing. My number one figure of 2023, definitely Fans Hobbies Double Agent. This dude is damn near perfect. Sure, he has his issues, but all figures do. That said, he looks amazing. The playability is up the roof. Through the roof. He looks awesome, and most importantly of all, he has 4, count them, 4 modes. Bot mode, winged bot mode with a different head, car mode, and condor mode. This dude has everything. He has a beast mode, he has a robot mode, a powered up robot mode, and a vehicle mode. He is my dream come true, basically. The colors come off really, really, really well as well. The transformation is very fun. And this is why not only is this figure my number one figure of the year, but honestly, Fans Hobby became my favorite company of 2023. And in 2024, with the announcements they have, with a couple of the figures I already got, yeah, they're continuing on to be my favorite fucking company. They're fucking amazing. I am very happy with this dude. I already got 1 recolor. And I think I mentioned it in my unboxing and first impressions of this guy, that this guy was going to be a strong contender for Figure of the Year. And he was one of the first figures I got last year. That's how good he was. From all 80 figures I got, he was probably in the first 20 that I got. And I mentioned he was probably going to be one of the best figures of the years, and he ended up winning the best figure of the year. I love this guy. And I got a remold of him as Machine Wave, I believe, from Machine Wars, the Soundwave from Machine Wars. And yeah, that actually is a strong contender for top figure of 2024. It's just Fans Hobby is a force to be reckoned with. But they had their ups and they had their downs because a couple of their figures were in the bottom as well. So, you know, as always, third parties is a crapshoot. But I'm very happy with this. My top figure of 2024, 2023, Fans Hobby Double Agent. Extended his gun. Totally forgot to do that because of where he was stored. You know, my original idea for this video was to actually rank every single figure I got last year from 80 to number 1. But then I figured that video's probably gonna be like, oh, I don't know, over an hour long. I wanted to do it, but I just didn't have the heart for it. Man. If you would like to see something like that, do let me know, because if I do get the pull for it, I will fucking do it, because I'm fucking insane. That's it. That was it for 2023. Those were my top figures. Transforming figures. This guy, he would have been in the top had I decided to like include him, because this Mega Man X figure, fucking baller. 2024 is looking to be an amazing year as well, and a lot to look forward to, including obviously Sentinel Toys Dag 1, that I hope doesn't have any issues like Jeeg, or if he does, that he fixes himself while I'm not looking. I actually ordered that one and paid for it in August. It's supposed to come out around April. A reissue of MMC Morse. I'm very looking forward to that. I'm waiting for it to ship. It should ship out soon, actually. Fans Toys Inquisitor, that I'm dreading and waiting for the payment notice from Show C. That should be in the next week, probably. And of course, the Kang Toy Dinos, which I'm very, very excited for that, because the Kang Toys Preds were amazing, and the Dinos are looking to be amazing as well. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. This is like looking at the intensity of my new light box. This is like, woof, no light, a little bit of light. I'm very happy with this new thing. I'm gonna get a couple of things to play around with it. There's still a lot I want to do. This is supposed to be 20 by 20, but it doesn't feel like 20 by 20, to be quite honest. Like, it feels higher than it is long. It feels taller than it is long, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, something else I'm looking forward to, obviously, is that we get TFC Toys Hunger, which is probably not gonna happen. Or at least Fans Toys Berserk, which I heard that it's gonna be come out at the end of the year. But like, you know, they've been announcing that for years now. That shit's just not gonna happen. No, by the time I finish recording this, I actually ordered one more figure in January. That's actually what I wrote when I wrote this originally. But then I ordered this, and it took almost over a month to get to me. Like, I ordered this in January, I believe, 30th? Yeah, and it actually arrived in February 20th. So almost a month from Amazon. I don't know what the fuck Amazon is doing, guys. That was supposed to be a joke, but it fell on flat ears, because, again, I've ordered a lot more ever since, because like I'm breaking it down from month to month to see. I'm pretty sure my heaviest month is gonna be January, because I ended up ordering 16 figures in total. Yeah. February, I'm not doing that bad. I think I'm up to 4 only, and we're already finishing the month. I hope I'm right. Could be 8, but it's nowhere near 16. That's for sure. Guys, thanks for joining me in these long as shit videos that I'm making recently, and I hope you enjoy them. Here it is, your moment of zen.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I love whatever the amount.